Finally, we're getting somewhere with the tariff talks. We got a lot to talk about today, a lot of news, a lot of stocks to check out, some supports and resistance, and of course, some plays so you guys can make a decent amount of money today. If you guys are like me, a couple years ago, I was unprofitable, was making money, but then losing money at the same time, and I just didn't have the common skills and knowledge that I have now. And I put it all into one course, one cheap course. It's literally $199, and you will be making your money back within the first day. I just want to say, if you guys want to learn a little bit more about stocks, take stocks a little bit more serious, check out the course below. And if stocks isn't working out, we also have another course. It's how to make money off $0 online. You can start your own business, and it guides you step to step on how to make money online. So honestly, man, if you guys want to check out any of these courses, the links are in the description below. With that being said, let's jump right into the news. Finally, got some good news with chips. So if you guys know, in the past, NVIDIA, their H20 chip was a chip kind of designed to go with the Biden era global chip export. And it kind of was just a chip that wasn't as powerful as the Blackwells or anything like that. And it's basically a chip made to sell in China. And it does make up a decent amount of revenue for NVIDIA. But we did see recently that Trump kind of banned it, but he's kind of taken it back. And honestly, it's making NVIDIA look great. We're going to be looking at some supports and resistance for NVIDIA and some plays to potentially make you guys some money. So keep that in mind. But NVIDIA stock does rise on the plans to basically not have that chip deal anymore and have them able to sell H20 chips. So that is great. And NVIDIA said in the past that it can open up a bunch of jobs, and honestly just a big leadway for NVIDIA to come up. And we also seen previously, we did get some competition in China, basically another chip developer kind of taking some of the sales and stuff like that. So them being able to sell the H20 chips and chips in the future and make NVIDIA's growth potential great. Bud Light Brewer AB, basically profit surges to top forecast. So keep in mind, BUD, stock going up. We did see a big price increase. We have Toyota. They see $1.3 billion profit hit in 2 months on the tariffs. So put Toyota and other car manufacturers on your mind and on your radar toward the downside, especially Ford, some other ones too. So Trump is expected to announce U.S. UK trade deal first since Liberation Day. So this is some great news for tariffs. Can bring the market up. We already seen some great movement with the market overall. And he also announced that there's going to be some big, great news either today, Thursday, tomorrow, Friday, and or Monday. So keep that in mind, because last time President Trump announced that there's going to be a great news, the market spiked. He kind of gives us warnings beforehand, and last couple of times that happened, it was confirmed basically. So keep this on your mind for the market going up, because this is honestly great news. And if you play the play right, especially last time I played the play right, my plays went over 1,000%, which is insane for option plays, of course. But we do have Kathy Wood selling $41 million worth of Palantir. So keep Palantir to the downside for now. Looking at it on the charts in the short term, it does look pretty bearish. But honestly, once we get a bottom, you can probably make a decent amount of money, especially if you do some option plays. And or if we get below that 90 to that $80 level, I do recommend loading up for your long term. I don't think it's going to break below $100, but just in case, have Palantir on your radar. Apple. So basically, Apple and Google. So Google basically has a deal with Apple, a $20 billion deal, which is an insane amount of money. But basically, having Google on iPhones, MacBooks, anything really, and having it as like the default, basically, mainly bringing people in, because a lot of people use Apple products. I have a MacBook, iPhone, anything that you use as Apple product is going to have, it's going to be like associated with this deal, and basically bringing Google presence up. But recently we've seen, honestly, with ChatGPT, just AI in general, people are using AI more to search things. Google does have their AI search tool, but it's not really as beneficial as you may think. But Apple is planning to have a AI search options and just have better search options overall, because people are using AI more, so they want to put it on their products and have it better. So keep this in mind for Google going to the downside. We're gonna be looking at that a little bit later. Can do some decent plays, but with Google, I recommend being patient, because if you didn't get in yesterday, it might be too late to get in now. Playing it to the downside. So now let's talk about the Fed meeting. So there was a lot to talk about. It was kind of bearish, not gonna lie. It wasn't really as positive as people may thought. But Jerome basically said he's going to be late. So saying that if they make any decisions, it's going to be later on. basically saying that they're going to come in when things break. Okay, they're not really going to come in right now because honestly, if you guys really think about it, people don't know too much about tariffs. They don't know how much it's really going to affect, the economy. We don't know about any of the deals. Like we're still in works with deals and everything like that. So basically just saying they don't know much about tariffs and how it will fully change. So they don't want to make any decisions now unless something breaks. So keep that in mind. And he also said, don't look at them and look more at politics for any of the market moves. So honestly, people might get their eyes off Jerome a little bit and look more about what like Trump and them are saying. So honestly, keep news on your radar basically in short because you can make a decent amount of plays playing some news based on what politics are saying. So now onto the juicy part, what everybody is probably here for. First off, we're gonna be looking at the SPY. So honestly, man, we did itch up a decent amount, especially with that news, getting some basically good trading news. So honestly, to the upside, I will look at SPY and look at how it reacts to that 570 overall. But on the way up there, look at 568.5, 569, and then that 570 finally. If we can break above that, have at least 570.76 with some good volume, good momentum, we can probably see it hit 571, 573, 575, and then look at that 580 next. But look at these levels. If you guys are short-term trading, if you guys are swing trading, I do recommend having your patience. And honestly, patience is key with swing trading. Honestly, day trading, it is patience too, but you're really just looking for lower percentages with day trading basically, and or just looking for a reversal, then you sell basically. But to the downside, if we don't even hit that 570 and or not even get close to it, and we start itching downwards, look at that 566.5, 565, 563.5, 562, 561, and that 560 level. If we break below that 560 level, look at some levels from yesterday, 559, 557.5, 556, and that 555 level to the downside. But have your eyes on 557 because that's going to be a key level. If we break below that, keep on breaking below. We have some more room to move more lower. Next, we're going to talk about is Apple because Apple did itch down a decent amount yesterday, also all the way down to like the 194, 190, 193 ish. So we are kind of itching back up, just like we seen with SPY and everything like that. So honestly, man, it's kind of insane the moves that we had, especially if you had like an overnight call. But to the upside, pay attention to that 200. If we can break above that 200, 201.5, 202, 203.5, 205, and then all the way up to that 210 level. To the downside, look at 198, 197, 195, 194.5, and that 193.5. And below that, just look at 190. NVIDIA, we do got great news with the chips. And honestly, man, just the movements, man, we were all the way down to like 112. Now we're trading at around 120. So keep your eyes on that 120 level. That's going to be a key level. You can break above that. Look at 121.5, 122, 123.5, 125, and all the way up to that 130 level, especially if we get some movement upwards. I think, especially with this great news, and if we get some great trade news, I think NVIDIA can get back up to that 140, maybe even 150 level. But I think 130 to that 140 level is going to be a decent level to look at NVIDIA or look for in NVIDIA in the future. To the downside, look at 118, 116.5, 114.5, that 112, 110, and then 108, 105, and then that $100 level to the downside. Next is Palantir. We are itching up back up with Palantir, and honestly, we had some lows of what, like 105. So honestly, I think we might be making a little bit of a rebound, but at the same time, still look at it to the downside. So this one is just going to be a very, very, very patient one. But when it does move, it's going to move pretty fast. So look at 115, 117, 120 is going to be key. And then up past that 120, look at 125 and that 130 level. 130 is going to be its all-time highs now. Technically, we had a candle wick, so I'm counting 130 as the all-time highs. So if we get another bounce off that 130 going downwards, you can play a put option, and or if we break above that, we'll be looking great. To the downside, look at that 110, 107, 105, 103, 102, and that $100 level to the downside. Next, Tesla. Tesla was kind of itching lower, kind of looking bearish, but with some good news out, it's looking a little bit better. But honestly, another one to be patient with because it can move up or down. I think Tesla is going to move more with the market. So just look at SPY. SPY is moving up. You might see Tesla moving up. SPY is moving down. You might see SPY moving or Tesla moving down. Sorry. So to the upside, look at 283, 285, 288, and that 290 is going to be key. If we break above that 290, watch the 300 level everybody's talking about to the downside. 280 is going to be key. If we break below that, 277, 276.5, 275, 273.5, and 271 because it's the lows, and then all the way down to that 270. If we break below that, just look at it going lower basically. Next, let's talk about Alphabet and or Google. So we did itch down a decent amount. And I was honestly thinking about playing another bearish play only if it goes down. I'm going to watch it maybe 30 minutes to an hour after market opens, see how it moves. But honestly, we have a chance that we can itch up upwards even more and just fill these gaps back up. Maybe not neutralize, but honestly, man, maybe 160 back up to the 160 level and maybe just bounce around there and or just start selling off, make new lows. And honestly, maybe you see it at that 140 level. But for Google, just be very, very patient, please, because if you rush into this, you might lose some money. Next, man, honestly, I was kind of saying that we'll hit 100K this week. I mean, we still can bounce lower and just sell off, but Bitcoin is almost at that 100K level. So have your patience with this one, but some plays to look at. Of course, MSTR. We broke past that 400. We're at 410. And honestly, if Bitcoin can keep breaking upwards, especially if we break that 100K level, I think we can get 105 to 110K. So with that being said, look at MSTR to the upside. Look at 415, 420, 430, 440, and 450. Honestly, man, I think if Bitcoin is rallying, this is going to rally too. To the downside, Bitcoin starts selling off. It doesn't break that 100K. A lot of people are going to be selling off, of course, if they see it not break that 100K, fail break. So to the downside, look at 410, 405, 400, of course, is going to be key once we break that 400, 395, 390, 380, and then that 370 level to the downside. Just depending on how strong the sell-off is and or just buyers come in. If the buyers come in strong, MSTR is going to move strong. If the sellers come in strong, they're going to sell off strong. So basically just look at it like that. Another stock to trade with Bitcoin movements is IBIT. I've been trying to tell you guys about this one because you can make a decent amount of money, especially with the options. The only reason why I mentioned this one is because it's really, really cheap for option plays because MSTR is honestly really, really expensive, especially if you want to get some option plays. Like in the money is $30,000. And then if we go back to IBIT, it's literally like $300 to $200. So it is just a cheaper way to play Bitcoin if you want to just like do option plays. And yeah, last but not least, let's talk about some earnings. So honestly, the main one that I want to look at is Uber. So they beat their earnings, but their revenue lost by almost 1%, which isn't really too bad. Honestly, and Uber honestly is just going to keep on. It's just a great company if you really think about it. They got Uber Eats, self-driving cars, Uber in general. You know, everybody knows what Uber is. They got the little scooters, they got everything. I mean, there's way more in this company. If you guys want more information, just comment down below and I'll add it in the next video. But I just wanted to summarize a little bit. But look at Uber, maybe to the upside and or the downside to see how it moves when market opens. Upside, look at 86, 87.5, 88.9, and that $90 level. To the downside, look at 84, 82.5, and then all the way down to that $80 level. If you break below that $80 level, look for more bearish movements. With that being said, thanks for watching the video. Smash the like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.